In this tutorial, we'll just go over briefly some basic photo editing components of Photoshop. So before this video started, I opened a photograph and then resized it to 300 pixels per inch so that if I wanted to print this photo, I could and it wouldn't be pixelated. The next step is to take the background image and then duplicate it. So I'm working on the background copy. So just in case you really don't like what you've done, you've saved a copy of the photo before you started editing it. So with the background copy selected in the Layers panel, I can go Image, Adjustments, and here's where you'll find a lot of classic, pretty simple photo editing tools. And this tutorial will look at the ones located right here. First with brightness and contrast. This box pops up. Again, it's Image, Adjustments, and then brightness and contrast. And I can work to adjust the brightness and the contrast between the values and choose a combination that I like. A note with this is that a decent portrait or quality portrait has midtones as well as highlights and lowlights, so there's a full range of value. So very seldom would I push my brightness up a lot or pull it down a lot. This is more for subtle adjustment. I can push cancel if I don't like it. Adjustments. I'm going to go into levels. And this is an important tool in Photoshop. And this graph right here shows you where exactly the levels in your photo lie. So right down here, this represents my dark values. And I don't have too many dark values in this photo. And if I look to the photo, I can see that. And I have a lot of midtones kind of in like the 55% range. If over here is 0% dark to 100% light, I have a lot of midtones. I also have a little spike in really light highlights, but the majority reside right here. I can use these toggle switches to up the darks, adjust the midtones either way, and then amp up the light values. So if you weren't really happy with the exposure of your image, you can come and manipulate the values here. Next is curves, which is similar to levels. Here's my original image, and by pulling this line on the X and Y axis by manipulating the original 45-degree angle, if I pull up, I see an enhanced or increased amount of light values. If I pull down, a lot of different things can happen. So know that whenever you click, there's going to be a point, and then you can add more anchor points to your levels. So I could add another one down here and really get crazy with it. Or I could just subtly manipulate for more subdued effects. So that's curves. Exposure. Again, if you've have experience with darkroom photography, you know that this would be kind of an underexposed image, whereas a really bright image would result from overexposure or leaving the photo in the fixative too long. So if you took an underexposed photo, you can bump up the exposure just a little bit if it's too dark, and then use these toggle switches as well. that's it for our first part of this tutorial, and then you can click number 2 where we talk about manipulating color using photo filters and turning the image to black and white.